Everybody, this is Bruce with Tabowski Studio, and as you can see behind me, it's a little bit cloudy. So today we're going to work on some clouds. Thanks for joining me. Hey everybody, thanks for joining me today. This is Bruce Tabowski with Tabowski Studio. To all my new subscribers, thanks for checking out my channel, and to everyone that's been here from the beginning, thanks a lot. Today I'm going to be working on a 1/4-inch panel, toned gray. It's going to facilitate with the cloudy sky, painting that in there. And it's a 1/4-inch panel. Sometimes use MDF panels or masonite untempered. And my palette's going to be burnt umber, titanium white, ultramarine blue, cerulean blue, cad yellow pale, cad yellow, alizarin crimson, and cad red medium with liquid and pasta gel for mixing into the paint. Here I'm just kind of scumbling in some tones of color thinly to suggest spots of color to begin with. I can thicken it up later as I feel the color tones are correct with each other. That way I'm not just laying it on thick from the get-go and need to apply other thick paint and it starts getting muddy, which if it did, I can scrape out with a palette knife easily enough on the panel. Very smooth surface. And I'm able now with my software to put the picture in set of what I'm painting. Of course, the clouds will change over time. This painting took about an hour and 15 minutes. You'll be seeing it showing real time for a few minutes, gaps of a few minutes, then filmed again. And I'm just blocking in some dark tones, getting some little pieces of color in there for the background trees. I thought it was going to be a bright sunny sky today here in Maine when I painted this, but it clouded up quite a bit. We've had some very cloudy weather lately, so figured might as well just do a cloud study. Here I am starting with the sky. Now the sky, pretty much the color mixtures are ultramarine blue and burnt umber, about 90% of the whole sky, with little variations added for some warmth to the color with cad red, maybe sometimes a little bit of alizarin crimson. Just kind of slapping in some paint, then I'll manipulate it once I have enough on there, suggesting some shapes. And it's very difficult to chase a sky, so to speak, so you got to pick out parts of the sky that you find interesting. The clouds will change, and if a cloud develops that you like and you want to put it in, you obviously can do that. No one's going to know that you didn't follow the scene. It's kind of impossible. Just about getting the feeling of the moment. And here I am blocking in the light tone of the sky towards the horizon behind the trees. Like to really kind of separate the dark edging of the trees against the sky is going to be nice. Kind of just putting in strokes, you see how I do that, and then I'll manipulate it once it's on there, scrub it around, maybe leave parts of it. So always be attentive to your brushwork. Don't just kind of slather it on, put your paint on in one direction. Getting some lighter kind of mid-blue tones in there. Working out quite well so far. Trying to do this in a speedy fashion to train myself to capture different kind of weather effects. Really looking more for the color values and tones are correct with one another. See, I'm getting more activity in the sky. You can see off to the left there a little strong ultramarine blue in the sky there. I will tone that down a little bit with some burnt umber and some white. Neutralize it a bit, the intensity, the chroma. Getting more of some dark value up towards the top there. Creating drama. Here I'm just selectively moving the paint around to pull out clouds, cut around some clouds, that sort of thing. That's where I added some cad red to warm that up a little bit where the subtle light's catching. It's nice painting on a cloudy day because you're not going to get extremes of light going in and out. So you really can study some color more and really work on your accuracy if you wanted to. Like in a cloudy day, how the colors are a little more vibrant. They have their own color as opposed to getting washed out by sunlight sometimes. And we can't always have sunny days, so I kind of was getting a little bummed out. It wasn't super sunny, but I said, you know what? I got to learn how to paint cloudy skies too. So that was the goal. Here I am starting to block in the green of the grass. Okay, now we're going to be blocking in some grass here. And what you're not going to see in the video, I think I was painting and I forgot to hit record. Sorry about that, but I blocked in the grass here. And then I applied some palette knife. And once we get later into the painting here, blocking in the grass, just kind of scrubbing in, creating different textures and such in preparation for the palette knife. Slabbing in some more, a little more warm yellow-green in the foreground a bit. I'll modify that here and there with the burnt umber, cerulean blue, cad yellow pale, and dance around with variations in that field of color. Really like the activity I got going on in the sky. And I'm trying to keep some texture all over the painting, so not just in activity, not just in the sky, so that there's not any disjointed parts of the painting, though I don't want a severe amount in the foreground. Working on now putting some darker tones in the background trees. Won't worry too much about edges right now, just getting some chunks of color in there. Looking to get some relationships from the ground to the sky. So that the trees aren't too chromatically brilliant in terms of being in a cloudy environment. Again, still working on the background trees. A little more darker tones. And working on the edge where the tree meets the field. Little variations in that so that it doesn't seem pasted on and that there's a strong line there. Really liking how the trees are coming out. I'm trying to keep the brushes obviously as big in relation to the size of the panel as I can. I don't want to get too detailed. I'm looking again for more of accurate tonal relationships. Sky to the land. Just kind of scumbling some paint up into the sky area. And it seems like if that impasto liquid is used kind of thinly, and there was a slight breeze, not too bad. Some parts of the painting were kind of tacky quickly, so that's something to experiment with. Here I am cutting that little bush in the mid foreground there, which is going to be a nice effect to tie the tree line to the grass, to the plane of the grass there. Like that effect. Getting a little more chromatic green in there. Gives some interest. Modifying the yellow green I put in before just a bit. Just creating different strokes to suggest different types of clumps of grass and everything. Not too overbearing, just enough to be of interest. Some vertical strokes and horizontal variation. Back to the tree. So it's constant back and forth. I don't really finish anything up in one spot completely. Allow some room to let it talk to other parts, so to speak. Build everything up equally. Now I'm going back in with the spring growth on the birch trees, scumbling the paint. Just kind of getting that roughness look to suggest leaves and tree branches and such. It gives it a little pop of color too, with all these kind of grays and everything going on. Nice effect. Again, dancing around some edges there. You can see the sun poked out a little bit over on the right hand of the panel there. It didn't last long at all, so it really worked out pretty good. And with my hatchback in my car, it kind of gives me some shade. If it was full sun, I would have had my plein air umbrella I have and clip it to my French easel. Works out pretty good. And now I'm taking the back of the brush and scraping paint out. A really nice technique I do. I don't go overboard, but it's a nice way to suggest trunks of trees in the woods. It all depends on scale of your painting. So it's really, really a handy technique. Selective areas. And then when I come back and do paint in actual tree branches and such later on, it'll be a nice combination of the two. Zooming in a bit so you can see hopefully some of the detail. Sorry the picture's cutting out a little bit there, the inset picture. Just wanted to have that kind of large for you so you can see what I'm referring to paint. And yeah. Working on the sky, softening some edges, blurring the paint here and there. I want it aggressive but not over the top. Strengthening some of the darks in the blue there. Just a little bit of this and a little bit of that at this stage in the painting. I'll go back and forth. And of course, I'm using several brushes. I'm not just using one brush to go into the grass and then go into the sky. You don't want to sully your colors in those different fields. So I have several brushes going at once, holding them in my right hand. Keeps the flow and efficiency to painting. So have many brushes when you paint outdoors. Of a couple of each size would be ideal, so that you'll have variety for your different colors. Modifying some edges again, breaking up some shapes. Really getting a sense of the day that it was. I'm really, really liking it. pretty happy with the efficiency of which I'm able to achieve the effect. And it takes practice, you know. Not everything is successful. I'm really liking too the light tones of the sky against the trees. Nice balance there. Getting a little darkness under the cloud there. And you can see how that's quite strong right now, but I'll modify that. It's always easier to go a little lighter if you need to. See how I got that little dark against that yellow of the tree? Set it off a bit. Really had a lot of fun doing this. I should do more cloudy days. Try to train myself to capture the essence of a particular sky. Catching some true elements. Here I am putting in some more darks at the bottom there of a cloud shape. Breaking up that long light tone. Didn't quite like that, so as long as I keep with the essence of the sky, maintain believability. That's the key too. You don't want to get too crazy and then lose track of what you're doing, not referring to the actual sky. Now strengthening the light tone in the sky, brightening it up a bit. You see how I put those strokes down, then I'll modify them. Keep some activity. Don't kill it too much. Very lightly. Yeah, see how I apply a little more pressure to the brush and then lift up on the pressure on the brush to feather the edges. Just really kind of working on edges right now, softening. Cutting around the cloud shape to bring it out some. Now here's a little faraway view with me and the painting, so you can kind of get an idea what I was working with. And now I'll go show you the palette that I was using in the setup.
Okay, everybody, just finished up the painting. We'll zoom in here. I really am happy with how it turned out. And of course the clouds changed a little bit over time, but I'm really liking it. And the palette I used, burnt sienna, from left to right, burnt sienna, burnt umber, titanium white, ultramarine blue, cerulean blue, cad yellow pale, cad yellow, alizarin crimson, and cad red medium with my liquid impasto gel. Great stuff. And here's all the brushes I used. That one tiny one right there was only for the tree trunks. So when I